not quite typical of worth the weight material.
They actually cut off my intro. It was supposed to be an intro before the video, so I will follow up. But there is a matrix that exists that attempts to influence your decisions. It's happening everywhere you go. For instance, ladies, I'm sure you've been in Nordstrom's. Anybody ever been in Nordstrom's in Pentagon City? Okay, when you walk in Nordstrom's, there's a certain type of music playing. It's usually a classical and elegant type of music, and it's playing because they desire to make you feel as though you're rich. And so there's even another section in Nordstrom that's designed just for young people, but when you walk into that section, there's a young pop culture type of music playing. That's because they want to influence you to feel that you're young, so you will buy the products that's in there. They are continuously and everywhere trying to influence your decisions. There's a power, really, and I don't want to get super spiritual, but there's a battle going on in the spiritual realm over your decisions and your choices. A lot of us know, and we've heard this statement, life is choice driven. You live and die by the choices you make. So if my life is predicated upon the choices that I make, and I want to control the world, I must get to the people's choices. And so how do they get to your choices? They get to your choices through videos, they get to your choices through commercials. We often talk about that there are basically two ways that you learn, through your eyes and your ears, your eye gate and your ear gate. And so maybe a lot of things that you are doing that you may want to stop, sex, you can't stop it because of what you're watching or what you're listening to. And so just like you have a natural diet, you have a spiritual diet. And so if you're saying, I want to lose 30 pounds, and then you're eating Twinkies and Tasty Cakes and all types of candies and Snickers and everything, how many of you going to expect to lose any weight? Well, it's the same thing. If I want to live a wholly abstinent life, and I'm watching certain things that, like even as a married man, my wife's sitting over there. I've been married for 5 years now. 5, 6 ain't got August. Don't mess me up. There's even certain things that I can't watch now as a married man because I don't want my mind to go there. And I forget who it was on the panel, but they talked about once something gets in your heart, you're in trouble. Because you're going to start to think about it and meditate on it, and eventually it will come out. So in essence, that's why we showed the video.
And I think it also brought up something that I didn't really address here, which is the stronghold of pornography and how readily accessible it is to us. And I don't know where I was that I recently heard this statement. It may have passed away, about the internet now. I mean, this is, but he said perhaps the internet may perhaps be the best thing and the worst thing that has happened to us as a people. And so it's interesting now because when you look at something like this and you'll say, oh wow, that's just a video, but for some people it's introductory pornography. It's their introduction to, you know, I mean, something that they perhaps have never seen. And it may create an appetite for something more. So it goes from BET to something else. Or it goes from those particular videos to now I've created this desire to see more, and as we know that desire is never going to be quenched. So I think it goes back to really being honest with yourself about some of these images and the effects that these images have on you as a male or a female. And with the pornography piece, you know, I mean, it's everywhere now. Sometimes I go to my MySpace page and I'm minding my own business and somebody naked is on the screen. And I'm like, I mean, so if that's happening to me and I'm grown, I mean, your 11-year-old is, phew.
Oh, don't make a mistake and type in whitehouse.com instead of whitehouse.gov, and I know y'all gonna go do it now. Don't make the mistake. Don't make the mistake, because the wrong images will come up. And so, I mean, people are trying to influence you on every front. They even trying to tell you who to vote for. Everybody know you should vote for Barack. but they're trying to tell you to vote for somebody else. I mean, I'm just trying to make some sense. But on a serious note, you need to be more conscious. And I'm not telling you something that I don't exercise myself, and I know that Dr. Lindsay doesn't exercise herself, but you need to be more conscious of what you're listening to. One of the greatest things about the 60s and the 70s during the Civil Rights Movement was that people weren't afraid to question. We live in a society today when people are afraid to question. Like my wife gets on me a lot because when we're watching something and commercials come on, I change the channel. And I'm not just changing the channel because I want to see what else is on. I'm so sensitive to what I'm being programmed to do. Why do you buy Tide? Why? Do you know? They told you to. And so you just need to be more tuned to what you're hearing and what you're seeing, and especially as it's aligned to your goals. God gave you those goals, and so you need to, in order to carry them out, you need to watch what you're eating. Watch what you're watching. Watch what you're listening to. And I don't know if anybody else on the panel, because I'm like, fire Trent. Anybody else want to
just want to
follow it up?
One interesting statistic in 2006, the pornography industry grossed more money than the NFL, NBA, and baseball combined. That's how large the porn industry is. But nobody knows that because they don't broadcast that on television. They don't put porn #1 industry. They'll say, and so it creeps in. Another interesting thing is that systems create behaviors. If you stop and think about it, it's not even so much environments, it's the way a system is set up. And then it will produce a desired result, whether it be good or bad. The system that we live in, somebody's making money off of someone else's poverty and ignorance. And so when you look at the videos, basically you see Russell Simmons and you see all of these tycoons making money off of someone else's ignorance. And so we take little foo-foo and they buy them the music for Christmas. Oh, they like this song, but we won't take the time to listen to what they're listening to. Listen to it uncut. Don't listen to the radio version. They can bleep it out and make it run backwards and make it sound halfway decent. But you take the uncut words and listen to it, read the words, read the lyrics. And even if we all just took the time to read what we're putting into us, then we stop and say, wait a minute, no, that doesn't sound good. I wish I had the lyrics that we could read, just pass it around, and everybody say, whoa, we didn't say that, that's nasty. I'm not doing that. But we'll sing it in a melody because what happens is hypnosis works a lot of different ways. When we watch television, we're actually being hypnotized. And the images flash real fast. That's why if you notice media, our attention span is shorter because we can only pay attention for about 7 minutes. And so we'll watch it, the next thing you know, the images flash. They'll put subliminal messages behind something. The word sex will flash 1,000,000 times, we won't even know it. Or it might be a body part or something. So that's why we really have to be mindful of what we're watching, what we're listening to, because once it gets in us, it's so hard to get it out. Yeah. And then that's when that perversion creeps in. And so when Hill was talking, he was talking about the root. So many of our roots go back to things that we were exposed to when we were children, that we have not had filtered out of us. That's why our mind has to be renewed. That's why our heart has to be cleansed. And it's so serious because we think of things in the natural, but it's really something spiritual taking place. And it's so subtle. It's not going to smack you in the face until you hit rock bottom. And then you're trying to fight your way out. Why can't I get out of this situation? I keep going back to this bad relationship. This person is clearly not good for me, but I can't let this person go. It's deep. It's real deep.
When I walked off and I heard something, one of the themes that was up here is balance. But I do want to let you know that it can be so tricky because we were originally talking just about sex.